The Haunted States of America, a Halloween First Chapter Friday read aloud video with the Word Nerd. Today, before we get started, I want to give a quick shout out to Mrs. Herska's 8th graders at Toma Middle School in Toma, Wisconsin. So glad you guys are here today. Happy Halloween and happy listening.
Hi, my name's Amanda Zieba. Welcome to my channel, Learning with the Word Nerd, and another First Chapter Friday video. This week, I'm going to be reading to you from The Haunted States of America, and y'all know I don't like scary stories, but it's Halloween, so how could we not? And this book is worth it for me to be scared because the stories were so great. It's another anthology, which means that it's a collection of short stories by a wide variety of authors. In fact, there are 52 short stories by 52 different authors. 52 because it includes Washington, D.C. and Puerto Rico. And I'm going to read you the first page of 3 of these different stories, but let me read you the inside flap, the blurb, so you know a little bit more about this book. Every state has an urban legend that evokes fear and curiosity in equal parts, and we've chronicled all of these logic-defying horrors in the Haunted States of America anthology. From the Jersey Devil to La Llorona, each story introduces a new chill-inducing, stomach-churning monster, specter, or poltergeist certain to keep you up at night. A broad-ranging collection of authors, including seasoned veterans and some first-timers making fright-tastic debuts, all have united to unearth the scariest lore from each state in the United States, as well as DC and Puerto Rico. Make sure to strap in for this spooky cross-country tour, but be extra careful not to let any of these terrors follow you home. So I'm going to be reading to you from 3 states, Arizona, Nevada, and then my home state of Wisconsin. But teachers, it might be fun if you had this book to read aloud the story from your state, and then learn a little bit about that author, because I know that when they were putting together this collection, the Society of Children's Book Writers and Illustrators, SCBWI, an organization for authors and illustrators of kid books, put out a call, and you had to be from that state in order to contribute that story. So maybe you can learn a little bit more about a writer from your home state as well. So the first story I'm going to read to you comes from Arizona. It is called Needles and is by Dusty Bowling, who is no stranger to this channel because we read a ton of her books. Insignificant Events in the Life of a Cactus, Canyon, something Canyon. I'll put them all down below, but we've got lots of Dusty's books on this channel. So her story is called Needles, and if I'm being totally honest, it was my favorite one in the collection because of the twist ending. But I'm not reading you all the way through. Here is the first page. Hopefully it will get you sucked in and make you want to read more. Needles by Dusty Bowling from Arizona. Mason kicked at the dirt path and stopped to pick up a piece of quartz. Ever since that wimp Liam went missing, no one except Mason had dared to walk through this part of the desert where Liam was last seen. The other kids were just a bunch of chickens. A neighbor said they saw Liam walking in this direction, lurching and jerking in strange ways before vanishing among the mesquite trees, his clothes later found shredded and scattered across the desert. Some people said he must have been sick by the way he looked. Some said an animal got him, maybe a mountain lion or a ravenous pack of coyotes. But no blood or bones were ever found. Several kids in Black Canyon City had actually gone missing over the last few years, disappearing without a trace, like Liam. But Mason wasn't scared. Whatever had gotten them wouldn't get him. He punched the hot air. A mountain lion was no match for him. Spotting a rabbit, Mason threw the quartz at it, but it missed and the rabbit scurried away through the desert. Then Mason noticed Kale walking up ahead. The loser must have finally worked up the guts to take this way home after school. Mason snickered. Big mistake. And that's all I'm going to give you that one. If you want to find out what else happens in Needles by Dusty Bowling, you'll have to pick up a copy. Next, we're going to read the story from Nevada called Dust to Dust by Ellen Hopkins. Ellen also has been on our channel before. She wrote Closer to Nowhere, a novel in verse that I shared, I don't know, once upon an April, forever ago. And here is the first page of her scary story. Dust to Dust by Ellen Hopkins, taking place in Nevada. It starts with a poem. Shocking. Here, where ashes leak from stovepipes and dust infiltrates every pore, some say when the moon or maybe the mood is right, this town offers up her spirits. Mom's playing tour director. The Gold Hill Hotel is the longest continuously operating establishment in Nevada. It opened in 1861. Can you believe it? I still can't believe it's standing, answers Dad. Or that we're staying there. Are you sure it won't fall down? It lasted all these years. I doubt will be the impetus that makes it crumble. What's an impetus? I ask. A force that makes something happen, Dad says. Like, too much soda is the impetus that makes me have to pee. Mom huffs. Seriously? Why didn't you go back at the gas station, Trevor? You're 11. You know better. That's where I bought the soda. A, I told you not to, Mom said, and B, there aren't any rest areas nearby. You'll have to go behind a sagebrush. Not a problem on this stretch of desert. We left home early, and even with Dad's speed demon driving, we won't get across Nevada to Virginia City until dinner time, so it's a good thing it's only a one sagebrush stop. At Mound House, we turn up the mountain. The landscape changes from flat stretches of sand to rocky hills dotted with stubby evergreens. Mom says the trees are juniper and pinyon. The winding road climbs steeply between rust-colored cliffs. A few have boards and barbed wire and no trespassing signs. Mom points to one. There's an entrance to an old mine. Gold seekers settled the area, but silver made very few rich. Only 800 people live here today. Back in its heyday, Virginia City was home to over 20,000. Where'd they go? Some died, whispers Dad, and some disappeared. A chill tiptoes up my neck. Disappeared how? Probably fell down a mine shaft. Don't scare him, Mom scolds. Once the ore ran out, people moved on. Everywhere I look are remains. Wheelless wagons, skeletal buildings, rotting timbers, rusting beams. Suddenly, there's a sharp whistle. And that's where we're going to stop for that one. The last one I'm going to share with you was actually written by a good friend of mine. Her name is Sylvia Acevedo, and it is a story from my home state, Wisconsin. I'm a Wisco proud girl, so I couldn't not do the haunted United States and not share the Wisconsin story. It is called La Llorona de los Siete Puentes, or in English, The Wailing Woman of the Seven Bridges, by Sylvia Acevedo, the story from Wisconsin. My little sister doesn't believe the ghost story of Seven Bridges. Neither do my parents. And that's why I'm never going to get out of trouble. I'm not allowed to bolt out of the house, not telling anyone where I'm going, especially when they're calling me to come back. But what else could I do? Now my lungs and feet feel like someone's pouring lava into them, but I have to keep running. Katya can't be left alone at the lakefront for even a second, and it's getting dark. Everything is all wrong. I blink and it's like car wipers swishing away rain on a windshield. Tears, blurry, blink, clear. Tears, blurry, blink, clear. My legs are screaming. I wished my parents had listened. I wished anyone had believed me when I told them about nearly dying at the lakefront last year. No amount of yelling or me putting a hand to my neck made any difference. Por favor, mami, I pleaded. Escúchame. But she wouldn't listen. I'd fallen asleep near the fire and had a nightmare, she said. Too many bonfire ghost stories, she said. She hadn't seen me slip away. So she and Poppy were okay with Katya going with Isa and her family to a bonfire at picnic area number 5. Near dark, far too close to the Seven Bridges. Adios. And that's where we're going to have to stop and see. You guys, you're going to have to see what happens to her sister in this scary story and all of the rest of the scary stories in the Haunted States of America. Perfect for Halloween. Pick up a copy if you don't have one already. And then I will see you here again next time for another First Chapter Friday video. Happy reading and happy Halloween.
To continue reading The Haunted States of America, pick up a copy from your school library, purchase one from your favorite local indie bookstore, or grab it via the link in the video description box. Then be sure to check out the rest of my First Chapter Friday playlists, including this one that's just full of spooky and scary books perfect for October and Halloween. I've got many amazing ones waiting there for you. Thanks so much for visiting my channel, Learning with the Word Nerd. Please like this video and subscribe, and I'll see you again next time for more First Chapter Fridays, direct instruction videos, brain breaks, and more. I'll see you again next time.